My husband knows how to do that.
Just sometimes a little humor
Get your
can
story
get you
out.
through.
I always knew I would be a mom. I didn't know the journey it would take or what being a mom would look like for me, but I knew I would get there. I had a plan. I was going to get married, be financially stable, and be over 35 so I could be just old enough to have a geriatric pregnancy. And that's what I did. I got married. I was financially stable. Okay, not that part. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm never going to be financially stable. But I was over 35, so I could have a geriatric pregnancy. And I figured I'd just get pregnant right away. I mean, I'm healthy. I eat kale. I thought it would be like one of those perfect pregnant women, you know, who would just like have this perfect pregnancy and then my water would break in some cute way, like in the organic oat milk aisle of Whole Foods. That wasn't me. I tried and I tried. I tracked my period. I used ovulation strips. Then I put sex in all caps in my calendar during my fertile period. And then I would make it romantic, though. I'd light some candles, make it a little sexy. I'm just kidding. There's no romance once you put sex in the calendar. No. Nothing worked. And you know, when you tell people you're trying to conceive, it's interesting how suddenly everyone's an expert. The advice I got, oh my God, do yoga, do a cleanse, don't drink alcohol, get drunk and have sex, put your legs up after sex, do a V-steam because Gwyneth Paltrow suggested that. If you don't know what a V-steam is, it's a vaginal steam. It's basically just a facial for your vagina. I didn't try that one. Or there's always like someone's best friend's neighbor's cousin who like got pregnant when they just stopped trying. Just stop trying, it'll work. When has that advice ever worked? Like just stop studying for the bar, you'll become a lawyer. Then my favorite one is relax. Okay. Because it's my fault that I'm stressed, and that's why I'm not getting pregnant. Seriously, do I look like someone who can relax? Besides, stressed people get knocked up all the time. How do you think babies are born in war-torn countries? So none of that worked. I tried everything. It didn't work. So then I did IVF, 4 rounds. None of that worked. My eggs failed me. But you know what? It's fine. There are better eggs out there, right? I could use some new eggs. And then I was like, you know what? Screw the eggs. I'm going to get a whole embryo. There are plenty of leftover embryos out there from couples who already did IVF. We'll just get one of those, you know? And so we used a donor embryo, or as I like to say, a rescue. Because we're good people. Why use a designer embryo when there are perfectly good embryos out there looking for a home? And then, after 7 years of trying, last year, February 1st, 2023, I finally got the news I was pregnant. I know. I was so excited. I was so excited. I was so excited. I didn't even care that I had 2 more months of progesterone shots and estrogen patches and nausea and heartburn and sore boobs and night sweats. I didn't care because I was finally pregnant. This is what I was waiting for. And then my baby started to grow, and then I could feel her kicking. Or maybe it was gas. I don't know which. It's hard to tell when you're pregnant, but I think it was both. And then at 18 weeks, 5 days, we went in for the anatomy ultrasound. And every ultrasound I went to, I was nervous that there wouldn't be a heartbeat. And we got there, and there was a heartbeat. And then we got to see our daughter yawn. It was so cute. And then the doctor stopped the ultrasound. She looked at me and she said, I see something concerning. Our daughter, Evelyn, had a severe form of skeletal dysplasia, which means some of her bones had stopped growing. And we received what is called a gray diagnosis, which is actually the worst diagnosis you can get because you don't know if your baby will live or die, but you know if they live, they're going to live a painful life. And I wish I hadn't heard a heartbeat. So I had to make the hardest decision a mother has to make, and I chose to terminate the pregnancy. In other words, I had an abortion, and I know people don't like that word, but that's what it was. And on May 19th, at 19 weeks, we said goodbye to Evelyn. And I keep going back to that moment right before the ultrasound when we were walking there, and I said to my husband, well, I hope everything's all right, and maybe I jinxed us. Or maybe it was because I went through security at the airport, or maybe it was because I scooped cat litter when I wasn't supposed to. But the doctor assured me this wasn't my fault. It's just something that happens. But I don't understand. How does this just happen? Like, I did everything right. Meanwhile, people are just popping out babies. They get to just have their water break in Whole Foods. I can't even have a healthy baby. You know, when you tell people you're pregnant, everyone wants to talk about it all the time. When you tell people you lost a pregnancy, nothing. No one wants to talk about dead babies. People would tell me, well, I wanted to reach out, but I just didn't know what to say, which actually says a lot. Sometimes silence can be very loud. See? Or people would tell me, well, I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to remind you. Oh, like I forgot. I forget a lot of things, okay? I forget to pick up dog food. I forget to bring my phone charger. I forget literally every password I've ever created. I don't forget my daughter. But you know, some people, they did. Like, I had some very kind friends and family members. They sent flowers and they wrote nice letters, and then they asked me when I was going to try again. Asking someone when they're going to try again after a pregnancy loss is like going to a funeral and asking the widow, when are you going to get married again? So yeah, people just want to fix things instead of sit with you in your grief. A year ago at this time, I was pregnant, and today I should have a baby at home. I might not have become a mom the way I had envisioned, but I am still a mom. And I share my story up here about Evelyn so no one will forget her. Thank you.
Hello, darkness, my